Hello, this is Frida. Welcome to my channel. Okay, we're going to start knitting this beautiful puff stitch top down Bolero. Okay, so to do that, we just need to cast on a total of 4 stitches to make the the band or the edge or what's it called? It's usually called the button band, but we're gonna start doing so many stitches. I try to knit with 4-ply. So what I did is the yarn that I received, and I did it. So I'm gonna knit 3 strand. Okay, the yarn is lovely so far. I have no complaint about that. So I'm going to cast on a total of 4 stitches. It's really hard to find Angora rabbit. When you find it, grab it. That's all I say. Okay, so I'm going to make my tail long. So I'm going to pick up stitches. I'm not going to do the other method that I showed you. This one is, it gives me the same effect. I do have several tutorials on how to do this, but this is done in purl. So only 4 stitches. I tried. And if I make more than 4 stitches, it's too wide, and I am focusing on the 4 weight, and I'm using a 5mm knitting needle. Usually old vintage Angora rabbit yarns are like this, but when you buy even from Germany, France, that's the heart where the Angora rabbit is made, and mostly now it's selling from Italy worldwide. And even if it says made in France, I notice it's not made in France, because when I receive it, it's like this strand. Okay, you know what I mean? So I've been buying yarn from all over the world, and I notice it's the same yarn that's coming from Italy. And this is from Italy as well. So I just wanted to point out. So the old vintage, old 1950s, I don't know, 80s, 90s, even 2000, they were made worsted yarn like this, but now, like I said, it's only made with this one strand. So I am trying to make it this thick to knit with the number 5. Okay, and if I knit it with, I'm a tight knitter, if I knit it with a 4, it becomes really tight, which I don't like. Okay, and I've been knitting, I don't know, maybe over 1,000. I haven't counted, but lots and lots I have knitted in the past decades. So so I'm going to purl. I'm not going to do the knit version because I did the other Bolero and I had a difficulty doing that. So I do the Turkish style. Just do knit, just do the pearls to give this look, this edge look. So I am going to knit a couple of rows until I have about 20, because my main goal is to pick up 45 stitches. Okay, don't focus on this one. I'm going to add these 3 to here, so I'm going to make more stitches here. So the main thing is I need to pick up 45 stitches. Okay, so to do that, I would say 23. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit ridges to pick up stitches. Ridges, I mean, to give this purl effect. Let me just show you. Always the first row. Okay, so this is how I knit. And I do knit the edge due to the look. Okay, just like this. So when you knit 2 rows, you create this ridge. This is called the ridge. Can you see? So we need to make at least 20 of this, or 23. This is going to be the half of it. And then what we're going to knit is we're going to knit another, pick up stitches from here, and then knit that much many. So I already have a tutorial, but I will show you again. So this is all I'm going to do. This is going to take me a bit of time. So 45 stitches is the magic number Okay, I did end up going to Winners, Marshalls, and Walmart. I needed to measure a 6-year-old dress. So what I did is, when I measured from here, it was 11 inches, okay? It's a little, well, no, this is perfect. This is 11, so this will fit to a 6-year-old as well. The length doesn't matter, but it has to be at least 10 inches long, which this is 10 inches long, as you can see. And the collar area I measured, it was 5 inches. I took pictures, I made a video, and for the puff sleeve, I measured, it was 5 inches. Okay, this one is a bit longer than 5 inches because I measured a couple of dresses and a top just to get the perfect fit, and all of them measured the same. So this is a little bit longer. And here was 3.5 inches. This around, it's a little bit tight, but when you measure it, it is 3. So when you measure the circumstance, the round, it's 6 inches when you round it. I know it's a little bit tough to measure it like this, but see, it's over 6. So this will fit a 6-year-old. Okay. So I did my measurements, and what else did I measure? I think I measured from here, and it was 5 inches, this part. And like I said, I do have pictures, and yeah, so I took pictures, and that's how I ended up. I wanted to show you, but it's on this camera. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you. But other than that, what I'll do is when I'm editing the video, I will add those measurements, and you can get the idea of 3 different sizes I measured to fit a 6-year-old. This can even fit, I don't know, it depends on your child, right? If you have a chubby child, big child, like I was a big girl, you know, if I was 2, this would comfortably fit me. 3, it would comfortably fit me. So it doesn't mean that it's going to fit a 6-year-old. So that's why I give the measurements, and I work with the measurements, and it depends on your child again. Like, I can't say, oh, this will fit a 6-year-old. You know, it can fit a 3-year-old depending on the child. Okay, so I'm going to knit, and I will come back to show you how to pick up stitches. This is going to take me a while, but my goal is to pick up at least 45 stitches to knit the Raglan, and we'll go from there. And don't forget to knit the last stitch and the beginning of the stitch. Okay, when we do that, it gives you this nice edge, which we're aiming for this top. The customer sent me a picture. I can't share the picture with you. That's why I draw my own. And I looked. There's no tutorials, no puff stitch. I'm gonna keep on saying stitch, puff sleeves. So in Turkish it's called karpuz kol Bolero. Karpuz means watermelon, but when I looked, this is called a puff sleeve. Okay, and I bought the pattern. It's like useless, and the numbers does not match. It's too big. It's like, for a smaller size, it's asking me to cast on, how much was it, 65 stitches for a sleeve? That's too many for 4 weight. You know what I mean? And there's no thicker than a 4 weight Angora rabbit, especially nowadays. In 2024, you cannot find that. So that did not work with me, and the instructions were so poor. I messaged the seller, no reply, crickets, of course. And I was disappointed. There are other listings, and I don't think what people are doing is they're just copying, and then they're selling the pattern, and they have no info. I don't think so, because the seller never replied back to me. So I said to myself, oh no, I can't wait 3 days. I already knitted a Bolero for a child, right? That's a waste of my time. So I ended up knitting 3 with my own pattern, and of course, the more I knit, I'm gonna find it, but I think this is the fourth. I think this is gonna turn out fantastic. So I'm sharing the tutorial with you. For some reason, top downs, Raglans are always ending up just perfect fit. And when you knit them in pieces, it's a little bit hard because you have to do the sewing, right? That's another. And I've been knitting top downs for so many years. I don't know, it just turns out fantastic. So I just wanted to share you this tutorial. So I will be back and I will post those pictures right after this so you can see the measurements, just if you want to be on the safe side. And then we can go from there. Okay? Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have knit total of 21 ridges when you count them down. So I cut my yarn and I'm going to pick up stitches here. Okay, so I tied the yarn and then I'm going to pick up a total of 3 stitches. That's all I'm doing. You can pick up a crochet hook. This is way easy. Just grabs it with the hook. If you don't know how to crochet, I would highly recommend. Okay, so I am going to start knitting. And then I'm going to continue knitting, again, 21 ridges like this at the same time. So the reason we need to do the same, because we're going to be coming back to pick up the stitches on the edge here. And we need total of 45 stitches. So 21 is about 42, and I can squeeze that 3 extra stitches, or even 4, depending, because I want to add more stitches on the collar area to create that puff sleeve look. Okay. And then I will be right back. So this is all I'm doing, just knitting purl-wise to create, like I said, you can do knit on the 2 sides, but I like knitting this method. And this is going to be like this. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have knit another 21 ridges on the other side. So just be careful when I added this on the back. So I'm going to pick up stitches here. So what happens is this would be on the back, and I'm going to sew on a label. So nothing to worry about this part here. It's really hard to see anyways. So I'm going to start picking up stitches. While I do that, I'm going to put my marker. Okay, so let me just grab something. Okay, So this is going to be the beginning. So 4 stitches I'm always going to purl. Okay, that's not never going to change. And then I am going to add 1 stitch on the front. Okay, so to do that, well, I first need to pick up a stitch. You can use a crochet hook. Yeah, I've been used to picking up stitches with crochet hooks. It gets it's easy to pick up. So I'm going to put this marker. So this is going to be the front, and I am going to do my increases every other row. Sorry about this. I had to open the window to get some air. It's pretty warm here in Edmonton. Well, everywhere is warm in the world around this time. July the 14th today. So here I'm going to make an increase every other row, but here on this part I'm going to make my increase every row. Okay, so this is going to be the front, and then I am going to add stitches. I'll pick up stitches, not add. Okay, so on the sleeve it has to be 12 stitches. Okay, let's see, 12 or 11, doesn't matter. So picked up the stitch here, I'll pick up a stitch here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm doing is I'm picking up a stitch on the purl and I'm picking up a stitches on the knit. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so this is the sleeve area. Okay, I wanted to make it close by each other, so I'm going to do my increases on the next row when I come back to the front to knit. So I'm going to be increasing. So this 12 stitches is going to go over 24. Okay, so that's how we make the puff sleeve. Yeah, I usually knit classic, and I never knitted what you call it, knitted let's make this 15 knitted puff sleeves before. So this was the first request. So 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, let's do and then this is going to be the increase, so I'll put my marker. So the more stitch we have, the better the puff. You know what, I'm going to add more because I still have room here, because then I'm going to pick up stitches, about 13 stitches on the back. So I still have lots of stitches here. Just counting: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, and then 10 the other side, so 20. I have lots of stitches. So let's count this again. Like I said, I showed you the purple, and I said I'm going to make more changes on the custom order. So this is the custom order, and I'm adding more stitches. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's make 20, 19. Yeah, just to be on the safe side, because we want it huge and fluffy. That's what the customer wanted. Okay, so, and then I'm going to make, well, I'm going to make the increase here, and then this is the increase stitch. So I will put the marker there. Okay, here I'm not going to pick up stitches this close. So what I'll do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to pick up 1, just like this on the purl, so it's not that close. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As you notice, I didn't go to the huge hole. I went to here because I don't want to make the stitch bigger. How many was it? 2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's make this, oh my goodness, crazy drivers. 13, 14, sorry about that, 14, 15. Okay, I'm just checking. 15. Yeah, I think it's enough. 15 is enough. The measurements. So the next stitch is going to be an increase stitch. And then we're going to pick up 20 stitches here. Okay, hopefully have enough. It's going to be the sleeve. So here we go. Oh, this is too big. Just go on the bottom. We don't want the stitch to be huge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, let's recount. Has to be the same numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so this is going to be the increase, so I'll put my marker right there. Okay, looks like this is twisted. Perfect. Okay, where did the other stitch go? Oops. Here we go. Okay, pull this. Okay, so we're going to purl this. This is always the purl, 3 stitches. I shouldn't put a marker there, but I will do that. So I know that this is not a knit, it's a purl stitch yarn on the front. Okay, and the other side is going to be the purl, which we knit the first stitch. And this is going to be the wrong side, so we're just going to purl the wrong side. This is all we're going to do. Okay, and I will come back and we will start we will start the right side. Okay, I'll be right back. So we don't do any increases on the wrong side, we only do it on the front, okay? And I will show you how to make the puff sleeves. Okay, so I'm at the front. I'm just gonna knit the purl the first 4 stitches. Okay, so I'm gonna make an increase here, right here. So I'm not gonna let this stitch go. So what I do is I put this on the back, and then I make a knit. When I'm doing the purl, this is how I do my increase. So I'm not gonna do an increase when I come back to do knit this one. I will do it every other row. Okay, so we can give that nice increase. Okay, here is the increase. Okay, so I'm gonna knit this one. So this one I'm always gonna make an increase, but when I come to here, it's every other row. Okay, and here what we're going to do is we're going to double these stitches. So there's 20 stitches. We should have 40 stitches. To do that, what I do is I pick this part and I knit this. I knit this stitch, and I come from the back to make it the second increase. So I made 2 stitches from this stitch. Okay, again, I'm going to repeat this 20 times. Knit, knit, and then increase. Pick up stitch, make a stitch, knit, and then make a stitch. There's going to be a lot of stitches. That's the magical to increase stitches. I tried doing 1 increase, it did not work. And I tried doing the pattern, it was like a disaster. Anyways, I'm not going to talk more about the pattern. 50 years ago, that's how they did it. But now there's so many new techniques that you can work with. And I'm making my own. This is the reason I do not sell patterns, because of this issue. You know, 50 years later, you know, someone else is going to sell my pattern and make money out of it. And what's going to happen is they won't find the yarn that I worked on, right? But I always give details on my... It's going to be a little bit tough because we're making lots of stitches, right? I always give tips and tricks when I'm doing my tutorial. Maybe there won't be 40 stitches, but here at the end we're not going to make... Well, yeah, it's still going to be 40 stitches. Yeah, you should have 40 stitches on the sleeve. Because when we bind off, we're going to do the decreases. When we bind off at the on the sleeve here, we're going to get rid of 2 stitches to give this nice puffy look. So to do that, we need to have at least... Here I had 25 stitches, so we need to have more stitches, and I did the needle technique to bind off. So it is stretchy, but it's not that stretchy. You know what I mean? If you have a chubby daughter, we don't want to have this tight. That's why I always give measurements, but it is 6 centimeters around, 6 inches around, and when you measure it from here, it is 3 inches over. So that's my goal, to have more stitches at the end, because when we bind, when we get rid of stitches, we don't want it tight at the... So this is the reason we're making lots of stitches here, to give that puff sleeve look. And I noticed when I went to get the measurements at Walmart, Winners, Marshalls here, I noticed there's, for girls, it's a lot of puff sleeves. And I was surprised. Not for adults, but yeah, for girls, a lot of puff sleeves. Okay, it's a little bit tight, just to point out, but when we knit this more, and of course it's going to use up lots of yarn, just to point out. So yeah. Okay, here we go. So pick up a stitch, knit the stitch, and then make it. So we're making 2. Okay, this is going to be the last one. So we're going to knit this and then make a stitch, and then the back is just knit stitch, nothing. And we're going to repeat the same thing on the other sleeve, nothing different. Okay, so this is going to be just knit, 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 nothing different. And the wrong side is just purl. That's all we do, no increases, nothing. And the edges, the 4 stitches is always purl. I really like this yarn, yeah, just to point out. Okay, so I'm here, and then I'm going to make a stitch, knit the stitch, and then make a stitch. Okay, so we're going to repeat what we just did. Okay, and I'm not going to go over it because it's the same thing. It takes time. As you can see, a lot of knitting involved. And then you make your increase, and then what you do is you just knit this 4 stitches, and then what you do is you come to the back and you purl your wrong side. That's all we do. So I'm going to let you knit. This is all to it, nothing else. Just knit, knit, knit. Okay, and then don't forget to do your increases on the Raglan stitches, the 4 increases. Other than that, we're just going to knit, knit, knit. We're going to knit about 5 in, well, we have to count this one as well. So this is 1 inch, just to show you. Yeah, this video is going to take long, so I will do part 1, part 2, part 3, just to show you. So this part is 5 inches, and then this part is about 1 inch. So what I would recommend is to knit, well, let's do 5 inches here, and then let's do 1 inches here. Okay, and then yeah, so I'm going to let you knit up to here. So do your increases, and when we come to the sleeve, we're gonna stop. We're gonna divide the sleeve. First, I knitted the sleeve. On this one, I did short. What I did is I knit the back, but which I didn't like. It gave me this, well, it's not noticeable, but I can see it. So I'm not gonna do that height on the back. So yeah, for the Angora. But other than that, yeah. So I will come back and I will show you how to divide the sleeve, and we'll finish up the sleeve. But continue making your increases every other row. So one row you make your increase, you skip the next, you make your increase. We do that increase until we divide the body, the sleeve, the body parts, and I will come back to show you. So knit about 5 inches, that's all I'm asking. And then yeah, I will come back and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is going to be part 2, as part 1 was the unboxing and I did the intro. I'm not counting the introduction, how I was showing you that I'm going to be knitting this style, which I draw the picture. Yeah, and then I bought some satin ribbons, which the customer asked. Yeah, isn't it perfect? So don't go and buy a pattern, make your own. It's like useless, waste of time. I asked the seller, never replied back, waited. I don't know how they do it. Like I sell on Etsy. I reply as soon as I see, and my laptop is always open, so if I see a message, I reply ASAP. And I don't only get messages on Etsy, I get on my email, I get on Instagram, Facebook, and so on. So if you have an Etsy shop, yeah, reply to those customers. It's not nice not to reply. So I will see you guys later. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, share it with your family and friends. And don't forget to hit that notification button, so every time I post a new video, you will be notified, indicating there's something new for you to watch. Yeah, don't miss out my tutorials. I've been on Etsy. I've been on YouTube since 2009. So with my experience, I make my own designs. If I have a picture, I will make it as close as and professional and wearable as I can. Again, these are all handmade, so they're not perfect, just to point out. Okay, so I'll see you guys later.